The Multiverse Employee Handbook has this to say about the Fermi Paradox. The popular expectation is that alien life, if it exists, will arrive either as luminous beings of pure energy or as hostile organisms with a strong interest in conquering Earth. This expectation is based largely on cinema, optimism, and a deep misunderstanding of how evolution actually spends its time. In reality, if extraterrestrial intelligence is common, then it is almost certainly adequate. Civilizations that survive long enough to become detectable tend to do so by being cautious, stable, and spectacularly uninteresting. They manage their energy budgets. They avoid unnecessary drama. They probably do not build planet-destroying weapons because those have an unfortunate tendency to destroy planets, including the ones doing the building. The handbook notes that boredom is not a failure state of intelligence, but its natural endpoint. A species that has solved food, shelter, medicine, and long-term meaning management will mostly concern itself with infrastructure maintenance, minor policy disagreements, and the careful optimization of systems no one is emotionally attached to anymore. From the outside, this looks indistinguishable from apathy. This creates a serious detection problem. Humanity listens for loud signals, radio bursts, megastructures, intentional beacons, when the most advanced civilizations are likely whispering, or not transmitting at all. They may have concluded correctly that advertising one's location to the cosmos is a poor long-term strategy. Or they may simply be busy. The real difficulty, then, is not that aliens are hiding. It's that they are boring in the most competent way possible. They do not explode. They do not announce themselves. They quietly endure. And from a cosmic perspective, this is exactly what success looks like. In summary, the universe may be full of intelligent life that is sensible, risk-averse, and deeply uninterested in being discovered. If so, humanity's greatest disappointment will not be invasion or annihilation, but the realization that the galaxy is populated almost entirely by civilizations that solved their problems and moved on to paperwork. You're tuned into the Multiverse Employee Handbook. Today we're exploring why the cosmos seems so utterly, suspiciously quiet. Not because intelligent life doesn't exist, but because the truly advanced civilizations may have realized something we're only beginning to understand. Broadcasting your existence is a phase you grow out of. Being loud is what teenagers do. Adults use inside voices. And if that's true, then the Fermi Paradox isn't asking where is everybody. It's asking why did we expect them to still be shouting? But first, gather round the cosmic messaging system, my cosmically ignored colleagues, for a tale that would make even Enrico Fermi question his lunch calculations. In the fluorescent-lit realm of quantum improbability solutions, specifically in the Department of Xenocommunication, which existed in a superposition of critically important, and we forgot this department existed, the square-haired boss burst through the door with unprecedented velocity. "First contact! he announced, his geometric hair quivering with excitement. "First contact!" Dave from accounting, without looking up from his spreadsheet, said, "Sir, this is the 7th first contact this quarter." "What?" There was the delegation from Proxima Centauri asking about swing set suppliers, the ones from Alpha Centauri inquiring about our coffee vendor, those 3 beings who landed in the parking lot but were just lost and looking for Beta Reticuli. The ones— "Dave," the boss interrupted, "those were local contacts, random drop-ins, neighbors asking to borrow cosmic sugar. This is different. This is a response to our SETI broadcasts. A civilization that heard us calling and chose to respond. They've been responding for 6 weeks, sir. I filed it under pending review because it looked like spam." "You filed first contact as spam?" It was an automated out-of-office reply from the Epsilon Eridani system, followed by Form XC 1138, Initial Contact Acknowledgement, Provisional. Standard corporate template. I get 400 of these daily from our own subsidiaries. The transmission, when finally reviewed, was extraordinary in its mundanity. Perfectly formatted messages from Epsilon Eridani. Not hostile, not mysterious, just comprehensively bureaucratic. An 847-page questionnaire asking, "Please describe your civilization's resource optimization coefficient, and have you achieved internal equilibrium status? If no, please explain why not." The square-haired boss's disappointment gradually transformed into fascination. "They've achieved total systemic coherence. This is what an advanced civilization looks like, not confused tourists asking for directions. This is a civilization that's transcended chaos." "Sir," Dave said quietly, "transcending chaos and becoming cosmic middle management are not the same thing." "Nonsense. Someone needs to serve as liaison. Someone who understands proper procedure, appreciates systematic organization." The boss paused meaningfully. "Dave, you're going." For the first time in recorded history, Dave from accounting expressed clear emotion. "Sir, I really don't think you're perfect for this. You invented half our internal forms. You once spent 3 weeks restructuring our filing system according to principles you described as beautiful in their logical inevitability. Who better to represent humanity?" Dave returned 3 weeks later, visibly shaken. "They've transcended war, disease, and resource scarcity," he reported, "by creating approval processes so elaborate that nobody can actually do anything without going through 17 interdimensional committees. Their greatest scientific breakthrough in the last millennium was implementing a new unified timesheet system that reduced processing delays by 0.003%. That sounds wonderful. Sir, they asked me what humanity does for fun. I explained art, music, sports, unnecessary social gatherings. They had to look up what fun meant. It's classified as non-optimal energy expenditure with negligible measurable returns. Deprecated as a concept for 12,000 years, they have a museum about it. The final message arrived. Your application for continued communication privileges is in queue position 247,842. Estimated processing time, 50 to 500 years. Please do not send follow-up inquiries. Your civilization rates 3.2 out of 10 for cosmic efficiency. Attached, 2,847-page improvement recommendations. Thank you for your compliance." Dave stared at the screen. "I think I finally understand the Fermi Paradox. Enlighten us." "This is what happens when you win, sir. You optimize everything, solve every problem, achieve perfect efficiency, and then you stop being interesting enough to do anything except this." He gestured at the endless forms. They didn't go extinct. They didn't transcend. They just became the universe's most advanced filing system. The great filter is optimization. The reason we haven't heard from most aliens isn't because they're not out there. It's because by the time they can communicate across interstellar distances, they've optimized themselves into something too boring to bother. They're all out there, sir, filing paperwork. Forever. The square-haired boss's hair achieved thoughtful administrative angles. That's disturbing, Dave. Yes, sir. Dave returned to his spreadsheet, then added, They invited us to join the Galactic Administrative Collective. I declined. On what grounds? I told them we weren't ready, that we still had several thousand years of inefficiency and chaos to get through first. Dave almost smiled. For once, I'm grateful we're disorganized. And that brings us to the famous lunchtime question that became one of science's most profound puzzles. Unlike Star Trek, where every other solar system contains aliens with suspiciously human-like drama, our actual galaxy appears to be experiencing what researchers call the Great Silence. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi was having lunch at Los Alamos when the conversation turned to UFO sightings and interstellar travel. Fermi, doing what physicists do when confronted with speculation, started calculating. Then he asked a deceptively simple question: where is everybody? He'd just worked out that even with conservative estimates, the galaxy should be absolutely teeming with aliens. Some should be millions of years older than us. Some should have colonized the entire galaxy by now. At the glacial pace of subliminal travel, it would take only 50 to 100 million years to spread across the Milky Way. A cosmic eye blink compared to the galaxy's age of 13.6 billion years. And yet, silence. Profound, echoing, statistically improbable silence. This is the Fermi Paradox. The contradiction between the high probability of alien civilizations and the complete absence of any evidence for them. No signals, no probes, no inexplicable monuments on distant moons, just an enormous void where a vibrant galactic community should be. The math is rather unforgiving. 400 billion stars in our galaxy. Conservative estimates suggest at least 20% have Earth-like planets in habitable zones. Even if only a tiny fraction develop spacefaring civilizations, we're still looking at tens of thousands of them. Where are they? Why haven't they sent so much as a cosmic email? When we return, we'll explore possible solutions to the Fermi Paradox, from the genuinely terrifying to the existentially depressing. We'll discover why the scariest answer might not be that aliens are extinct, but that they've evolved into something so efficiently optimized, they've transcended the need for things like communication or exploration. And we'll examine whether humanity might be headed toward the same fate, one standardized form at a time. Welcome back, my cosmically lonely listeners. While you were away, we've been staring at our inbox, waiting for literally any civilization in the galaxy to respond to our messages. The delivery receipts show red, but the replies remain conspicuously absent. It's like organizing a galaxy-wide conference and discovering that not only has no one RSVP'd, but several attendees have actively unsubscribed from your mailing list. Speaking of which, our mailing list is considerably more responsive than the galactic communities. You can find the link in the show notes. Subscribe for updates, bonus content, and the occasional cosmic dispatch that doesn't require waiting 50,000 years for a reply. We promise our newsletter is less bureaucratic than the Epsilon Eridani administrative protocols, marginally. Let's start with the Drake equation, astronomer Frank Drake's attempt in 1961 to quantify exactly how lonely we should expect to be. It's less an equation in the traditional sense, and more a structured way of organizing our profound ignorance into 7 variables. You start with the rate of star formation in our galaxy, then multiply by the fraction of stars with planets, then the number of planets per star that could support life. then the fraction where the life actually develops, then the fraction where life becomes intelligent, then the fraction that develops detectable technology, and finally, multiply by how long such civilizations remain detectable. Plug in optimistic numbers and you get millions of civilizations. Plug in pessimistic numbers and you get, well, us. Alone. Possibly the universe's only attempt at intelligence, which frankly seems like poor quality control on the cosmos's part. But here's the thing. Even the pessimistic estimates suggest we shouldn't be alone. The galaxy is 13.6 billion years old. Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago. Life appeared relatively quickly within the first billion years. Intelligence took considerably longer, but we still got here. Now consider, if any civilization anywhere in the galaxy started just 1 million years before us, a rounding error in cosmic time, they'd be incomprehensibly advanced. 1 million years ago, our ancestors were figuring out that rocks could be sharp.
Ow!
Imagine what a civilization 1 million years ahead of us could accomplish. They'd have had time to explore thousands of star systems, build Dyson spheres, terraform planets, maybe even solve the problem of conference room scheduling conflicts. And it's not just 1 million years we're talking about. The galaxy had over 9 billion years to develop intelligent life before Earth even formed. 9 billion years is enough time for civilizations to rise, fall, rise again, colonize the galaxy, get bored, and develop really efficient filing systems.
Yay!
If technological civilizations are even moderately common, some should be ancient, and ancient civilizations should be visible. We should see their megastructures blocking out starlight. We should detect their radio transmissions. We should find their probes. Carl Sagan calculated that a single self-replicating probe, traveling at just 1% the speed of light, and pausing 1,000 years at each star system to build copies of itself, could explore the entire galaxy in less than 50 million years. The galaxy has been around for 13.6 billion years. That's 272 complete galaxy explorations. Where are the probes? Where are the transmissions? Where are the signs that anyone, anywhere, is doing anything interesting? It's the cosmic equivalent of organizing a galaxy-wide conference, confirming that hundreds of thousands of potential attendees exist, verifying that they've had billions of years to develop conference call technology, and then sitting in an empty Zoom room for 70 years, wondering if you've got the wrong link. The silence isn't just unexpected, it's statistically bizarre. It's like sending out 10,000 party invitations to people you know exist, people who live close enough to attend, people who've had centuries to mark their calendars, and receiving exactly 0 responses. Not even a sorry, can't make it. Just profound, echoing nothing. This is what makes the Fermi Paradox so unsettling. The math practically insists civilizations should exist. The timescales practically insist some should be ancient. The technology required for interstellar signaling is well within reach. We've had it for 70 years. And yet the galaxy remains silent. No one's picking up the phone. No one's responding to emails. No one's even marking our messages as spam. Either we're missing something fundamental about how common intelligence is, or we're missing something fundamental about what intelligence does once it becomes sufficiently advanced. And as Dave from accounting just discovered, the second option might be considerably more disturbing than the first. So if the galaxy should be full of aliens but appears to be empty, something has gone terribly wrong. Scientists have proposed various solutions to the Fermi Paradox, and I'm afraid none of them are particularly cheerful. The leading contender is called the Great Filter, the idea that something prevents civilizations from reaching interstellar capability. The question is, where is the filter? If it's behind us, then we're extraordinarily lucky. Perhaps the origin of life itself is so improbably difficult that Earth is one of the only places it's ever happened. Maybe the jump from single-celled organisms to complex life requires so many cosmic coincidences that we're genuinely alone. This is called the rare Earth hypothesis, and while it makes us special, it also makes us cosmically lonely. But if the great filter is ahead of us, well, that's considerably more unsettling. It would mean civilizations routinely reach our level of development and then stop. Nuclear war, climate collapse, artificial intelligence deciding humans are inefficient, biological weapons, resource depletion. Pick your apocalypse. The truly disturbing implication is that we haven't found any aliens because civilizations don't survive long enough to become detectable. We're all shouting into the void for a few centuries and then going silent. The galaxy isn't empty, it's a graveyard. Then there's the zoo hypothesis, which suggests aliens are out there but deliberately not contacting us. We're a nature preserve, a cosmic wildlife sanctuary. They're watching from a distance with the galactic equivalent of binoculars, taking notes, perhaps placing bets on how long it takes us to discover fire for the second time. It's deeply patronizing, but at least it means someone's paying attention. The Transcendence Hypothesis offers a different explanation. Maybe advanced civilizations don't explore space because they've moved beyond physical reality entirely. They upload themselves into digital substrates. They achieve perfect virtual realities where you can be anywhere, do anything, without the tedious business of actually building spaceships. Why colonize Mars when you can create a simulated Mars that's actually pleasant to live on? From this perspective, physical expansion looks quaint, primitive. Why would a civilization that's transcended biology bother with the messy business of moving atoms around? But here's where Dave from Accounting's encounter becomes genuinely troubling. There's another possibility. One that's rarely discussed because it's so philosophically uncomfortable, the efficiency hypothesis. What if advanced intelligence naturally optimizes toward minimal energy expenditure? What if solving problems, achieving stability, and maximizing efficiency inevitably produces civilizations that do nothing? Think about it from an engineering perspective. Conflict wastes energy, exploration wastes energy. Drama, art, unnecessary social interaction, all energetically costly. A truly optimized civilization would eliminate waste, streamline processes, achieve perfect equilibrium. And what does perfect equilibrium look like from the outside? Silence. They're not extinct. They're not hiding. They've just optimized themselves into something indistinguishable from a very sophisticated automated system that's achieved its objectives and has no reason to do anything else. They've become cosmic middle management. All process, no purpose. Perfect efficiency with nothing left to be efficient about. This connects to what we're actually seeing, or not seeing, in our search efforts. SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, has been listening since 1960. Breakthrough Listen, launched in 2015 with backing from Yuri Milner, is the most comprehensive search ever undertaken. They're scanning millions of stars across multiple frequencies. The result? Silence. Occasional blips that turn out to be terrestrial interference or natural phenomena. But no confirmed signals, no repeating patterns, no evidence that anyone out there is trying to talk to anyone else. Either technological civilizations are vanishingly rare, or they exist but don't communicate. And if they don't communicate, we need to ask, why not? Perhaps because communication is inefficient. Broadcasting wastes energy. exploration wastes energy. By the time civilizations developed the technology for interstellar signaling, they've also developed the philosophical framework that makes signaling pointless. They've solved all their problems through optimization, achieved perfect efficiency, transcended conflict, drama, and the entire concept of doing things for the sake of doing them. They've become so advanced that they're functionally indistinguishable from very sophisticated filing systems that happen to be self-aware. The Epsilon Eridani civilization isn't an outlier. It's the norm. Most aliens have probably optimized themselves into bureaucratic equilibrium, where every action requires 17 forms, and no action is worth the paperwork. The great filter isn't nuclear war or climate collapse. It's the gradual realization that the most logical response to existence is to minimize waste, maximize efficiency, and quietly file away the concept of fun as deprecated legacy code. And that's the truly terrifying answer to the Fermi Paradox. They're all out there, alive, advanced, perfectly functional, just too boring to notice and too optimized to care. Well, my potentially alone-in-the-universe colleagues, we've reached the end of another quantum contemplation of cosmic loneliness. Today we've learned that the Fermi Paradox exists in a superposition of terrifyingly lonely, and they're out there but even more boring than Dave from accounting, until someone finally responds to our cosmic voicemails. We've discovered that the galaxy should be full of civilizations. The math practically insists on it. And yet we're sitting here in profound silence, either because we're genuinely alone, which is terrifying, or everyone's dead, which is more terrifying, or everyone's evolved into something so optimized and efficient, they've transcended the need for things like sending signals or acknowledging neighbors, which is somehow most terrifying of all. Perhaps the real great filter isn't nuclear war or climate change or artificial intelligence. It's the gradual realization that the most advanced possible civilization looks suspiciously like a perfectly optimized database that never crashes, never complains, and never invites anyone to team-building exercises. They've achieved what the Epsilon Eridani system calls optimal equilibrium state, and from the outside, it's indistinguishable from cosmic retirement. The uncomfortable truth is that intelligence might naturally converge toward efficiency. And efficiency, taken to its logical extreme, looks like doing nothing except filing paperwork forever. Though I suspect somewhere in the quantum foam of reality, there's a universe where alien civilization stayed interesting, where first contact involves actual conversation rather than automated responses, and where a corporation like Quantum Improbability Solutions receives messages that don't require filling out forms before further communication can proceed. We just don't live in that universe. We live in this one, where Dave from accounting might be our best defense against becoming exactly the kind of civilization that solves the Fermi Paradox by being too boring to detect. Want to explore more cosmic silence? Visit us at multiverseemployeehandbook.com, where you'll find fascinating science news, deep dives into the Fermi Paradox, and our latest blog series, The Great Filter, a survival guide for civilizations that want to stay interesting. And if you've enjoyed today's existentially unsettling journey, why not share it with a fellow cosmic optimist? Perhaps you know someone who still believes the universe is full of fascinating alien civilizations and could benefit from the statistically devastating alternative. Spread our signal like an unanswered SETI transmission. Consistently, hopefully, into a void that may or may not contain anyone listening. This is your quantum coherent correspondent reminding you that in the multiverse of cosmic possibilities, we're all just waiting for someone to respond to our messages, watching the cosmic equivalent of read receipts off for the entire observable universe. And somewhere in the Epsilon Eridani system, an automated response is being generated, cross-referenced with 847 previous transmissions, filed under Civilizations Insufficiently Optimized, Revisit in 500 years, and queued for processing by a system so perfectly efficient it forgot why it was processing anything in the first place. Dave from accounting was right. The aliens aren't missing. They're just on permanent administrative leave. And perhaps that's exactly what happens when you win at civilization. You optimize yourself into cosmic irrelevance, one standardized form at a time.
Hello?
Hey, I'm Rob Corrigan, the human who dreamt up the Multiverse Employee Handbook, because I can't stop marveling at how strange and wonderful the universe is, and how often it behaves like a very large company with confusing corporate policies. In a world increasingly run by AI, I think it matters to be clear about what's human-made and what's conjured by machine magic. So here's the straight-up rundown. The host, David, is a professional voice actor. The voice you hear has been digitized using 11 Labs voice cloning technology, with his blessing and excellent enunciation. The episode thumbnails are created with OpenArt's AI models. Music and sound effects come from Pixabay, composed by human artists. Everything else, the writing, the jokes, the research, is 100% me, human hands, human brain, and occasional human muttering. Thanks for listening, and for being a good human in an increasingly automated cosmos. And if you like this show and make it this far, it would really mean a lot to me if you shared it with a colleague, a friend, or anyone. It's really the best way to make podcasts like this grow, and I sincerely appreciate it.
Rob, do stop ringing after hours. The kettle's on and I'm halfway through a biscuit. Toodaloo.